Hello, how's it going? How you all doing? My name's Paddy McDonald. Thank you all for coming along. Big crowd tonight, we're doing well. I come from a small, quiet, quaint village. You've probably never ever heard of it. It's called Divis Flats. Small, wee, quiet, kid village. We were that poor in Divis Flats. My best friend was my best friend. He was a prat, but he was my best friend because his ma bought Bogro. Yes, I was fed up using the Irish snooze. You could see how awkward it is when your dad comes home from work and goes, "Patrick, son, bend over there, see what time our funeral's at tomorrow." But yeah, no, we were that poor Divis Flats. Tropra, the charity, were going to put us on the front of the box one year. Felt sorry for us. I was barred out of Belfast city centre for 15 years for being a shoplifter. But thanks to Jerry Kelly a couple of years ago, I got one of those letters and I'm allowed back in again. And I went down Castle Street recently there, and I found this high-class shop. I think they would know it here. Some of the people sitting around tonight, you know, we can see from their attire, very high-end. It's called Primark. And I went up the stairs in Primark and I seen this t-shirt I liked, and the old Kleptomaniac Ways came to me, and I threw it up the jumper and I went to walk it out the front door, and the guy went, "Where are you going with that t-shirt?" Well, he didn't say it like that. He went, "Where are you going with that t-shirt?" And I shit myself, because 15 years ago when I used to be stealing in Belfast city centre, the security guards were fat and slow like I am now, whereas this new guy looked like he could run the 100 metres in 10 seconds. So I shit myself and put my hands up and went, "Mate, I did take that t-shirt. I'm dead embarrassed. What's going to happen now?" And he went, "Nothing, my friend. It's 2 for 1 if you're stealing that shit." But yeah, no, it's all good out doing the comedy. I only started doing stand-up comedy because I'm married and have kids, and I just wanted to get out of the house. So if my phone goes off while I'm standing here doing this, please be as quiet as you are right now, and because that'll be hers. I told her I was out getting bread and milk. But yeah, no, it's good. I'm married 10 years and I have 4 kids. Even the wee black one's mine. Don't know what you're laughing at. She told me that was because she was doing the sunbeds when I was in McGabry. But yeah, it's all good. But I love Belfast now. Belfast is a different place now from what it used to be. You know, we're all loved up. We've got lots of things happening now. We have Game of Thrones happening in Belfast, lots of filming happening in Belfast. You walk about Belfast now, there's lots of people, scraggly beards, long hair. 15 years ago I just called them tramps. Now the term's extras and they get paid. But I think the company HBO that actually makes that show, I think they messed up, because I think they could have came here in the early 80s and we could have sent them up to Long Cash and they could have got every character they wanted. Jerry Adams could have been the head of the Stark family, although he probably would have fucking denied that too, wouldn't he? I was never in the Starks, only represented them. Winter's coming, haven't gone away, you know. But yeah, no, it's good. Disney is going to make their new movie in Belfast. They've just announced it this week. Disney's making their next movie and it's called Prognosing, and the song in it's going to go like this. Do you wanna build a bonfire? Right, no surrender on the wall. It's out on the 11th of July next year, I think. But yeah, no, it's all good. But another thing about Belfast is our sports. We started to do well at sports. Both teams done well in the football. But the one sport that we're really good at, who would have knew, was fighting. We've always had champion boxers. Every single one of our boxers, always champions. And the one thing that was consistent with all our boxers, if you look throughout the past, we had Barry McGuigan, Carl Frampton, Paddy Barnes, Mick Conlon, Wayne McCulloch, every single one of them's in there and they've won that fight. And the guy jumps into the ring and he says, "So Barry McGuigan, so Carl Frampton, so Paddy Barnes, so Mick Conlon, how did you prepare for this fight?" Every one of our champion boxers sound like this. "I get in the ring there, man, I knocked this mountain, so I did." People all around the world going, "How did he win that fight?" So I tell people when they come to Belfast, you're out on a night out in Belfast, you bump into somebody, they turn around to you and go, "Watch yourself." Don't panic. They turn around and go to you, "Watch yourself." Run like fuck. And another guy that gets a hard time is a wee golfer. Wee golfer from up the Antrim coast. You might know him. He's called Graham McDowell, or Graham McDowell if you're a Protestant. Graham McDowell, he came on the TV in our house. And the guy goes up to him and he was like, "So Graham, you just shot a 62. How did you prepare for this?" And he was like, "Well, I sort of held it out to the bay for 2 weeks. My man had the TV in a headlock." I was like, "What are you doing?" She says, "I hate people like him, son. Here's me, he's from here." He says, "Where? Divis, who's his man?" He says, "No, not from Divis, he's from Northern Ireland. He's from here." "Why has he changed his voice? Because he's meant it." Here's me, "No, because he's from Portrush." That interview would have went like this, man. "So, Graham, you just shot a 62. How did you prepare for that?" "Well, I did turn chip down ball up that field. I got a fucking cherry chip, fucking lovely, hey." Joey Dunlop was a world champion motorbike rider from here. He was never interviewed. The best motorcycle racer ever. And he was never interviewed on TV. Do you know why? Because he sounded like the motorbike he won the race on, that's why. Joey Dunlop. "Joey, how's it going? You just won the big one, the TT. How'd it go for you?" "No. Will you be coming back next year, Joey?" "No." And then people will laugh at you. But it's dead strange. Out of our wee small country of 6 counties, wee country of Northern Ireland, we have one Hollywood A-lister. And if somebody was to say to you, pick one place in your wee country where one Hollywood A-lister would be from, the last place you would pick is up in and around Antrim Coast and the Ballymena direction. But yet, the one A-lister we do have is from Ballymena. Liam Neeson. Star Wars would have been a different movie if Liam hadn't changed his voice. "Whoa. Whoa. Come on, Darth Vader, you big hurry. I fucking got me one of these lady sticky things, hey. All the guys down the town are calling me a fucking Jedi or something." And could you imagine, the most famous film he's in is a film called Taken. If Liam hadn't changed his voice, and I know you've all heard it, because we've all sat and watched that film Taken. You know that voice, we all know the voice. Over the year, you know the voice. I'll tell you why you know the voice. It's the voice you do at 2:30 in the morning when you're drunk trying to phone the Chinese. "I want a chicken curry fried rice, no fucking peas. If you send me that chicken fried rice with peas in it, I will find you and I will fucking kill you." Liam Neeson in the film Taken, and don't tell me you didn't watch that film in that part and turn to your mate and say, if he had been in one of the paramilitaries, this would have all been done with now. But Liam Neeson in Taken, if he hadn't changed his voice. "Hi, boy. I don't know who you are, hey. I'm going to head down to yon Tower Centre tomorrow and I'm going to find out who your family are. And see, Monday, I'm going to pass that number. I'm going to pass him on to my friend. He's an MP for the area. But he's away in Sri Lanka at the minute. But once he comes back, I'll pass him on to him and he's all in deep trouble, hey." So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. There's other things too. It's mad the way in this wee country you go 5 minutes down the road, somebody's a different voice from you. There's people in Derry from the bog side that if you close your eyes when they speak, you'd be convinced they're from Beijing. "Alright, Paddy, hi, how's it going, hi, fucking from Derry, hi." That's how mad it is here. And then you go to places like Hilltown, and it's the type of people that talk like this here. If you meet somebody from Hilltown, you would be better off having a good 12-hour kip, because by the time they're finished talking to you, you're sleeping. That's Hilltown. And then 5 minutes down the road, you have Newry. Newry. And I had the maddest experience with somebody from Newry. I was in London doing a gig, and I got up and done the gig in London, and everybody's in the bar now has turned Irish and wants to buy you a drink. And I'm getting all this drink bought for me, and out of nowhere I heard this thing going, "Hi you big hooey! You big hooey! You! Hey! You boy!" And this voice in the bar, and I turned round, and there he was, this guy. How's it going? My name's Cormac fucking Turley. I'm from fucking Newry Armagh. Not Newry Down, Newry Armagh. How's it going? What are you doing over here? Are you doing the gig? Is that all you do? I say, the comedians, is that all you do? Do you do anything else? No, what I do, I'm a taxi man. I says, in London. He says, no, not in London. In Newry. I'm a taxi man in Newry. I says, you over on holiday? No, I'm not over here on holiday. What are you doing over here? I'm over here from your uncle. He's cancer. He bought a fucking house here. My family sent me over in case some who takes it off and while he's fucking sick and dies. And I was like, this guy's fucking nuts. He followed me into the toilet. Is that your dick? Look, the size of your dick. Look, the size of your dick compared to my dick. It's fucking small. It's small. Is that small? Is mine small? I don't know. Is this small? How long have you seen no fella? Excuse me, fella. Show us your dick down. I see. Sizes. Must be where you're from, you see. I'm fucking south. I'm down Newry. You're Belfast. Where are you from? Oh, right. That's massive. Jesus, the seaside of his Paddy. He was nuts. I couldn't get rid of him. He was in my ear constantly. Where are you going now? I guess I'm going home. I'm going fucking home. I'm going home and I'm probably going to fucking kill myself because I can't fucking take anymore and I can't get rid of you. Really? And what way would you do it? Would you do it with rope? Would you do it with tablets? I heard the best way to do it is to do it with fucking water. Get in the water. Those people down the canal. That's what you do. You jump in the fucking canal. I kept going. Where are you living now? I said, I'm staying in Tottenham Hill. Tottenham Hill, I'm 7 sisters. Fuck me and you can get the tube together. And I went, fucking whoopie doo. Fucking brilliant. I'm loving it, Cormac. Come on, let's go. We're dandering up a street in fucking London and we'll come to this big fucking hotel. All these people standing outside with cameras. He says, what the fuck's that? I says, paparazzi. Fuck me if they paramilitaries over here as well. I says, no, paparazzi. They're guys that take pictures of famous people and sell them to the papers. Fuck me, that's like the brew. I says, I like the brew, only it's different because they're fucking looking at celebrities and not us. Are they here for you, Paddy? I says, I don't think so, mate. Oh, right, who are they here for? I mean, I fucking don't know, and they don't know because they're fucking standing there and they're not doing nothing. Well, we'll stand and see who it is. I sure may as well, Cormac, you may as well. Next minute, fucking Bear Grylls comes out of the hotel. Oh, it's Bear Grylls. Bear who? Bear fucking bum. Who fucking Bear Grylls? What's he do, Paddy? He's a survivalist, oh yes, Cormac. A survivalist? What the fuck's a survivalist do? He fucking survives. Survives on what? What's he survive? He goes out in fucking fields and fucking the outback and he brings celebrities with him and they survive on berries and bear pits. Oh, right. Is that why he called Bear Grylls? Aye, that's why he's called Bear Grylls. Is he really famous? Well, he's famous enough. Well, I've never heard of him. He must have never been to Newry. I don't think so. He probably knows you're from fucking Newry and don't want to be fucking there. Bear Grylls is walking out, about to get in a taxi, and Cormac decides to fucking shout at him. Hiya! Bear fucking Grylls! The whole of London fucking stopped because they didn't know what that noise was. They hadn't heard anything like that since the Second World fucking War. And everybody stopped. The fucking lights stopped, the taxi stopped, everything stopped in London, and everybody looked in our direction. And Cormac went, "Here! You fucking Bear Grylls, are you?" And Bear Grylls sort of just nodded. And he went, "I hear you're a fucking survivalist," he tells me. "Well, tell you what, you hear you. I'd love to see you surviving outside Friar Tuck's in Newry on a Friday night." Cormac's now my friend. He was my best man at the wedding. It was the best thing I ever seen in my life. I love him to bits now. But yeah, no, it's good. Growing up, I was raised a Catholic. I'm no longer one. I get through out. But you know, it's one of them things. There's nothing you can do about it. You're in the Catholic. But I have a real Catholic dad. And it's mad having a Catholic dad in Ireland because they're strange. They're strange fucking beings. And all my life he's been telling me, you should be going to Mass every Sunday and living by the Lord. And I was like, you've done 18 years and long cash, mate. I think you've broke a wee bit more commandments than me, you know. And every Sunday, did you go to Mass? Did you do this? You should live your life like this. Can't tell me. But you see, my dad, he's a roofer. That's somebody who works on the roofs of houses, by the way, and factories, if you don't know what a roofer is. And every Christmas, I'll give you an idea. My dad is a dickhead, right? He bought my man an ironing board for Christmas and says, she'll fucking use it, right? That's a type of, he's a real man's man from the Falls Road. So he goes out this Christmas, and it's called Black Eye Friday, and they all go out together. He doesn't drink with these guys all year, but he works with them, so he goes out once a year because they throw all the lead and all the money from the slates and stuff they stole off people's houses all year, and they throw it in the middle and they drink it. And then he can't drink anything because he was in jail. So 2-3 pints in, he's drunk. So they're drinking whiskies and they're drinking shorts and he's out of it. So eventually some part of the night they decide, right, he's too drunk, he can't stay here, we'll have to get him home. So they would bring him home to my house. And they rap the door, my ma comes out, opens the door, sees him there. And you think my dad's mad. My ma's 4'11" and like a pit bull, right? And she's like, get him into the house. So the first couple of years we got him into the house, he wet the bed and done whatever. But last Christmas, he went a step too far. he done his number twos in the bed. He shit the bed. And my ma went nuts and threw him out of the house. So this was 3 days before Christmas. Christmas was going to be ruined. And he's up every day rapping the door. Mary, let me back in. I'll give you another 40 quid in your wages. No. Mary, come on, I'll bring you down to Harry Curry and buy you new stuff. No. She says, I can't believe you've done that. You and your mates might have done that in jail in the 80s, but you're not doing it at my house in 2019. It's not happening. You're disgusting. And he's like, please let me in, let me in. And she's like, no, you're not getting in. And then Christmas Eve came and we were going, what's going to happen here? You know, it's going to be a terrible Christmas. He's not allowed in the house. And, you know, where's he going to go? Where are we going to go? Who's going to go with him? Who's going to go with him? And, well, everybody's going to go to my ma's because he can't cook. And he didn't have a house. So there was no way I was going to the hostel with him. But that wasn't the point. He came up and he rapped the door and it was Christmas Eve. And you see, if you're an Irishman, there's one thing you have in your armour. You don't like using it all the time, but sometimes you have to use it. And he came up and he rapped the door. And he was like, Mary. He was gulping like mad. I knew he was nervous. If you let me back in the house, I'll go off a drink for Lent. And she went down, she opened the door. Not because she loves him, but she's a proper Irish wife and mummy. She wanted to watch him suffer. So she let him in. But you see, the problem we have with an Irishman, an Irish Catholic, going off the drink for Lent, is that unlike other religions and other, religions that do fasting periods, people in Ireland, Irish Catholics, in the middle of it, we have a wee sort of important holiday, and it's called St. Paddy's Day. And for some reason, I don't know when it started happening, but somebody like years and years ago went, I can't handle this going off drink for Lent. We're Irish, we're meant to drink. What we do? And one of them says, why don't we let on that Irish people are special and we get the day off? So for some reason, in Ireland, everybody thinks you get a day off, whether you're off chocolate, coffee, drink, whatever. You get a day off on St. Paddy's Day, because it's St. Paddy's Day. And I know how ridiculous that is. Imagine you were standing outside McDonald's in the town, in the middle of Ramadan, and a big busload of Muslims pull up, and they all jump off with big stupid Guinness turbans on, and start running in and munching burgers, and you're like, lads, what he's doing, isn't that Ramadan? He's not meant to be fasting. And one of them turn around and go, excuse me, mate, I think you'll find it's St. Muhammad's Day, and we get a day off on St. Muhammad's Day. And if they're not doing it, they fucking should do it. But that's how mad it is for people in Ireland. I don't know who done it. So I came home to my ma's house, and my dad's lying there, meant to be off the drink for Lent, St. Paddy's Day, and he's lying on the kitchen floor with a doner kebab, singing the wolf tones, absolutely off his tree. And I come in and look at him, and this is the man all my life been telling me I have to go to mass and live by the commandments. And I go to him, you're a hypocrite. And he says, no, I'm not. And I says, you are. I says, because you tell me all my life I have to do this, but you're on a fast for the Catholic faith. And I says, and you can't even keep it up. The one day you are out, and it's just like it's all went up in smoke. And he says, listen, we get a day off. You mean why? He says, have you ever read the Bible? I says, no. He says, well, go and read it. It's quite obvious. We get the day off. I mean, why? He says, look at the picture. Look at that picture. I says, who, JFK? He says, no, the other one. I says, Henrik Larsson. He says, no, the other one. I says, oh, Jesus. He says, yeah, look at him. He's white and long hair. He looks like he could be in Game of Thrones. He's fucking Irish. We get a day off because Jesus was Irish. And I laughed at him. But then I went and read the Bible. And folks, I don't know if you've done it, but go and read the Bible, because not only do I think that Jesus was Irish, I actually think he's from Divis Flats. And it's all in there. I mean, the first thing that made me think it was, he lived with his ma right up until he died in his 30s. The second thing that made me think it was, he run about with 12 of his mates every day performing miracles. Then the third bit, and that blew me away, he lived in a house with his ma, with a man that wasn't his real dad, who was called Joe and was a joiner. That's every single person in my street. And you can read all these. There was this one I read about where he went to the wedding and he changed water into wine. He didn't as fuck. He went to an Irish wedding, because I've been to loads of Irish weddings and I'm sure some of you have been to them. The one thing that Irish people do at their own weddings is they bring their own drink, because fucking hotels cost a fortune. I know exactly what happened that day. Mary was at the wedding because she goes to fucking bingo with Bridget, whose daughter's wedding it was. And Bridget comes over and goes, Mary, I'm fucking scundered. Our Frank didn't get enough drinking. We've run out of bastard wine. She says, don't worry about it. Our Jesus is here with all his mates. They're performing miracles now. Did you not hear about it? My cousin Frank, dodgy leg. They kneecapped him last week. He's got full rate DLA and a wee flat in the new lodge. I'll go and see Jesus. He'll sort it out. Mary goes over to Jesus. Jesus! What, ma? Jesus, son, you know, Bridgie and I go to the bingo with this their daughter's wedding. They've run out of wine. I don't want to listen to it. Frick's sake, man, you're always at it. Last week you had me run across the falls and I just had to swimming pool. Do you remember that? I know, son, but you have to do it for me. Mummy, you're always at it. And another thing, see your man Joe that lives with us, he's not even my real dad. He's telling me what to do. He's making me go to work with him. Look at the state of my hands. That wood's going to be the death of me. Look at the state of my hands, look. Oh, son, will you do it for me? Alright, man, I'll do it for you. Tell everybody to come over 2 at a time, but tell them to be dead discreet and quiet about it. I don't want to get barred from another hotel, alright? Right. Matthew, Mark, Luke, on the table. Lads, see all the drink. Who brought that? Who brought Belfast? Is that John? Is he from Lurgan? He must fucking be. That's stinking, that stuff. Right, see all the grey goose and all the good stuff? Keep that to save for us. They've all run out of drink, and here, we'll give them a wee drop with loads of it, alright? But just give them a wee bit in the grass, right? Everybody should, right? Dead on. Matthew! What, Jesus? Matthew, we're dishing out a wee bit of drink. Keep an eye out for Judas. I'm starting to think he's a tout. But yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good doing comedy and stuff like that, and doing it. And I do talk about my kids, you know. I have a few beautiful kids. I have loads of girls. I have Evie and Blanid and Craig, and they're my favourite ones. And then I have Podrick, and he's my son, about 13. And you know, lots of people say to me, do you have his name tattooed in your arm because, you know, you love him? And I was like, no. And they were like, do you have his name tattooed in your arm because it's Irish and you don't know the spelling? And I was like, no. And they were like, did the child support agency stamp your kids' names now? And I was like, no. And they were like, why do you have his name on your right arm? And I said, because you've no idea what he's like. And that's the arm I beat the bollocks out of him with. Podrick's the type of kid, you can't get him up for school during the week. You know, like a Tuesday morning, he's sitting there watching Jeremy Kyle, and you're like, you need to go to school, and he's like, fuck that. I'm watching Jeremy Kyle, and you're making me money for more fakes, and I'm running out. And then come the weekend, he comes running into your room at 6:30 in the morning, kicks the door in, Daddy, get up the fuck! My wife's elbowing me, you better sort that out. I says, you just called the child that. He says, aye, because he gets that from your side of the family. But, no, it's all good, I'm only joking. He's not that bad, I love him dearly, he's pretty good. But one thing that happened, being strange as a comedian in Belfast, was I like to go into the shops late at night. The 24-hour supermarkets are my favourite thing, because you can go in late at night, there's no crowds, the staff are all earphoned up, gloves on, sunglasses, not even, I play a wee game like they're all zombies and you have to try and get around their carts and all, and they'll just fucking squash you into the side and all. I love that shit. And I was in Asda, and I was in my shorts and all, I'm coming from training, yes, this fat thing, training and works out. And I was in, and I went into the shop, and I went up to the milk, and I don't know if when you were younger, if your ma ever done this, she went, if you're going to get bread and milk, get the one that's the back. Get the one at the back, because they put all the stuff that's good at the front. So I was in Asda, and I'm reaching to the back of the cupboard to get the milk. And do you know when you know somebody's close behind you, because their tongue's in your ear? There was this girl, and she had her tongue in my ear, and I turned around and I was like, ah! Thought she was a member of staff. She wasn't, and she was just looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and she went, so, do you see dead people? And I went, not right now, no, I don't. I see milk and stuff. It's like, I'm saying, like, do you communicate with the other side? And I says, well, there's a few people from a shankle on my Facebook, if that's what you mean, like. And she was like, why are you getting on like this? And I was like, I don't know what you mean. And she was like, listen, how do you communicate with dead people? And I went, well, sometimes I see my granddad at the end of the bed, but most of the times I've had a smoke of a joint or something before that. And she stormed away, and I went, lunatic alert. I have to get the milk and get out of here. But I'm a nosy fucker. I seen her going up the other aisle. So I squeezed down behind the fajitas. They were on offer, by the way, they were $4.99. And I pulled them to the side, and I seen her approaching another girl, and I was like, I have to get this on the phone. This will be a gag. And I get the phone out, and I'm trying to get a good picture of it. And she walks up to the other girl, and she goes, here, why'd you tell me to say that to him? She says, say what to who? Your man. I went up and said, tell him, like, do you do this and do you do that? And he was looking at me like I had two heads and was like, what? I have mates in the shankle and all, I don't know, like threatening me with the paramilitaries and all this here. And she was like, what did you say? She says, like, I was saying them, how do you communicate with dead people? And do you see dead people? And she says, well, why did you say that to him? And she went, because you told me he was a medium. And she went, no, I told you he was a medium. So it's very strange. But folks, I hope you've enjoyed it. Enjoy Whiskey Week. I've been Paddy McDonald. I've really enjoyed gigging for you. Have a good one. See you later.